to another video. Today we're going to be talking about what it's like to daily drive a Stage 2 Alfa Romeo. So I've had this car, Stage 2 tuned, for about a week now, and I daily this car. Around 80 miles a day. And I have to say, based on the tune that I have, because I had a custom tune done by CBA Autoworks in New Jersey, I asked for, like, basically just pure linear acceleration with more, like, top-end torque instead of, like, a flashy pop and bang tune, because that just fouls up, like, everything engine component-wise and exhaust-wise so much faster, and that's why people blow up their engines, you know, because they don't take care of them after they just get a pop and bang tune just because they want to sound loud, you know, and draw attention. I just want this car to be strictly, like, pure linear acceleration, because before, in, like, natural mode, like, you would know if you were at 65, 75 miles an hour and you stomped on the gas, you weren't going to get anything out of the car. You know, it's just how it was. Like, you would get a little bit of acceleration, but you weren't seeing, like, any real, you know, like, gain in acceleration. Now, in natural mode, I can, like, barely touch my foot down onto the pedal while doing 75, and the car just, like, instantly takes me there. So, like, really understanding, like, what you want out of a tune makes all the difference. And I mean, like, my miles per gallon has gone down 0.5. And I'm assuming that's just because I'm driving a little bit spicier. Before the tune, I was averaging around 25.5 to 26 miles per gallon, you know, combined highway and city. And now I'm averaging about 25 to 25 and a half. So, for getting a Stage 2 tune and all the other work that's done to this car, I lost half a mile to the gallon. I think I can live with that. It's not really anything, like, ridiculously special, but this car now, when you put it into, you know, like, low-end torque, like natural or dynamic mode, you know, if you're doing a roll at 30, you downshift, this thing will physically put you in your seat now. Like, if your head's not all the way back, it'll be like, whomp, and it puts you back in your seat now, because factory, I believe, is 280 horsepower, 303 torque, foot-pounds torque. And then with this tune, we're seeing around 336 horsepower and 364 torque. So a little bit over 50 miles or 50 horsepower added and 60 foot-pounds torque. But most people that have the like absolute stock 2.0s say that they aren't actually 280. They're like 272 or something like that. So all in all, with this Stage 2 tune, we gained about 60 horsepower and around 60 foot-pounds torque. So, like, this car will literally just slap you around now, which is great. It's fun. And that's all I wanted from the daily. You know, I wanted something that, you know, I can cruise and be comfortable with in traffic, like I'm doing now on my commute to work. But if I wanted to, you know, go, oh, look, there's a little gap in traffic, and I wanted to, you know, lean into the, you know, acceleration, you know, do a little bit of spirited driving. This car now has no questions asked. You tell it what to do, and you're going. I'm also curious to see what my new top speed would be. Because estimated top speed previous was 124. Obviously, there's no legal road in America that you can do that on. But I have to say, car's been close. So I would be curious to see what the new top speed of this car, because I can put this car into 4th gear now at 75 miles an hour. Meaning I'm only halfway through my gearbox and I'm already doing 75. Granted, I'm at like 5 to 6,000 RPMs when I do that, but it gives you that like higher range pull when you actually spool it down to then, you know, downshift, catch, you know, those higher RPMs, build a little bit of boost, and then just sail out, which is what I wanted from the car. I wanted to literally be able to, you know, drop a gear and haul some ass instead of drop a gear and sit in the same spot for a few seconds and then you would start moving. So like, it's really, really good now. I want to see if we can play with the numbers a little bit more. I think we can get more torque out of it and like a push more horsepower. But for right now, for having been on this for a week, we haven't had any clear days really. We had a literal blizzard of 2 feet of snow. The day before that, it rained. So it was rain, blizzard. Then the whole following day after the blizzard, I didn't even leave the house because they were still clearing snow off the roads. The day after that, it was all icy and like slush out because it was 45 degrees. So like the whole road surface was just puddles. And you know, if you're playing around with an engine and acceleration that you're not used to, I'm not gonna try to push, the car to like, figure out what it's got when I'm unsure of, current road conditions. Like I'd rather wait till it's warmer out. The roads I know are gonna be dry, things like that. So I've had the ability to kind of push this car a little bit, here and there, for nothing more than like a quarter-mile sprint, basically. But this car has asked for asked 0 questions back. It's been, I tell it what I want, the car does it. One thing I've noticed though, because I'm on Pirelli P0s, which are summer tires, due to the colder temperatures here, if I haven't warmed up the tires properly and I go to do a pull, my ass end of the car will swing around. Because if you guys didn't know, even if you have a Q4, which I do, which is the all-wheel drive, the initial ECU for Alfa Romeo is 100% rear wheel bias. Meaning, even though you're all-wheel drive, 100% of the power is originally distributed to your rear axle. Not evenly 50-50 to both. It's originally distributed to the rear. If it notices you're losing traction, it puts power to the front. Good concept, still gives you that like sports car, pushing from the ass feel. But if you don't know this, or you're on, unsavory weather conditions, road conditions, bald tires, things like that, it can get you in a little bit of trouble because the ass end will try to, run itself in front of the front. So you just have to be kind of careful of that. But that's the only thing that I've really noticed. If you go to push this car and the tires aren't warm, you go to, turn to the left, turn to the right, it's gonna kind of like swing back on you a little bit. But other than that, I haven't had anything really bad to say about this car. I think it's just mainly because I haven't really been able to push it though. One thing I have noticed with dailying this car is when you sit in traffic for, 15, 20 minutes, and you're just sitting there idling, if you're not far enough back off the person's exhaust in front of you, there's like a major amount of like heat soak that happens. So like if you go to like do a pull like right out of like, sitting in traffic and then the roadway opens up or something, your car is gonna feel like bogged, but it's only because like your car's been huffing in the exhaust of the car in front of you. If you were running hard before you got into traffic, all that engine heat has nowhere to go, especially on the 2.0s because there's no hood vents. So that's just one thing to like make note of. If you're running the car hard, have to sit in traffic, the car is gonna feel boggy, for maybe 5 minutes afterwards until you get some fresh air flowing over that engine. That's about it. But other than that, I've been really happy with this tune. I just wish it was warmer out to where I could actually, like, you know, push and play with the car a little bit more. But if you guys didn't just see, we did just do the spark plugs and coil packs on this car. So it's got brand new spark plugs, brand new coil packs. Everything's flawless on it now. Someone actually asked me to do a follow-up video on what my old spark plugs looked like and everything like that. So I'm going to go and do that video next, so you guys can see like what to look out for, you know, if you do your own spark plugs, because it's the most ridiculously easy thing you can do and save yourself a shit ton of money. Yeah. Right now we're just going to continue cruising to work. I'm getting blinded by the sun right now. So we're going to put, yeah, limited front crash warning, wipe front windshield. No. But yeah, so with that, we're going to, we're just going to put the camera down. Going to just drive to work, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.